How's about a video response to all the Democrats and Republicans out there who hate libertarians? So I had a comment today that libertarians believe in not regulating things like poisoning the earth or lead paint in toys, things like that. So it's not that we don't want to regulate things, okay? Those things harm people. So we make laws about it, and we say, okay, well, this is obviously a problem. It's harming someone. It's taking away your freedom to be healthy. It's taking away your freedom to live. It's taking away your freedom to have clean toys or clean house, no lead-based paint, things like that. So we make a law about it. And if somebody's caught doing it, then we put them in prison. And that's that is the deterrent. It's not a fine. We don't fine these companies for polluting and for poisoning. We put them in prison. And then you would say, well, how do you pay for prisons if there's no taxation? No taxation means that we don't have these big groups, government organizations that are going around checking on things. We just throw them in jail. How do we fund the prisons if there's no taxation? Well, why are those people getting why are we paying for them to eat and sit around all day and beat the crap out of each other? Put them to work. If prisons need to be funded, the prisoners inside the prisons need to fund them by working in the prisons. Cheap labor, I don't know, making them work the factories like that. Rapists, pedophiles, murderers, people who poison children, those are the people who need to be in prison. All victimless crimes are out of prison. We don't need to be putting people in prison for victimless crimes like drugs. And if they're selling drugs to minors, sure, but if all drugs are legal and they're just over the counter and you have to be of a certain age to get them, then the people who give them to minors are the ones going to prison. You're not going to have people making meth in their basements, okay? I don't support people doing that stuff, but I'm also not trying to take away their right to do it. That's straight up from Ron Paul right there. But the fact of the matter is, regulations might seem like a good thing, but in order to enforce them, 9 times out of 10, it's just more taxation. And when you let the government start taxing, taxes were started for World War I, and then they just started making more and more and more, and they wanted to tax people for this, that, and the other. Everybody got their programs in, and now all of your programs in taxation are pretty much BS. I mean, over 50% of taxation is BS. We are not defending our country by policing the rest of the world, and the amount of money that actually goes into social benefits is negligible compared to the war budget. Do we support no social benefits? In theory, yes. We do not like socialism in any way, shape, or form. But people are so addicted to it, like drugs nowadays, that they have to be weaned off of it. As Ron Paul says, we have to find different ways of helping people get their life together, and we have to find ways of making life better for people so that they don't need government assistance. For the people who need it, that's very, very debatable. Socialists want everybody to get free money and free handouts, and that's unacceptable. That's why we're in the problem with inflation that we're in now. We just print more money and more money. We libertarians believe that we need to be using gold and silver as real money, and I've heard Republicans say, well, then all the other countries will steal our gold and silver. Well, we don't give it to them. I mean, come on, it's that simple. That's the Republican rhetoric, okay? That's just Republican lies to try to convince their voters to tell libertarians that gold and silver money wouldn't work, or gold and silver backed money wouldn't work. We shouldn't be sending our money to other countries. We need to bring money back to America. We need to bring jobs back to America. We've become so dependent on consumerism and cheap crap from third world countries like China and India, or Taiwan, where we still see child labor. I mean, in the 90s, we hated that. I still hate child labor. But as Americans, we are so dependent on that to get cheap labor, so we have cheap crap because of consumerism. Do I believe in capitalism? I don't like capitalism. Capitalism sucks. But it's better than passing out free money and devaluing the currency. It's better than giving everybody freebies to sit around at home painting all day, because honestly, that's what socialism brings. Socialism is going to bring people who don't want to work, and then the government has to force them to work. Free college means that if you got good grades in high school, you get to go to college. If you didn't get good grades in high school, you're going to be a plumber. You're going to be shoveling shit at the sewage waste treatment plants, because those jobs aren't going to be getting filled, and the government's going to force people with bad grades to do them. That's how that works. You're not going to have people doing the dirty, messy, crappy jobs if they don't get paid better. I don't have all the answers, okay? But you know what? Democrats and Republicans don't either. They want to think they do. Lord knows they want to think they do, that their political party has all the answers, when all they really want to do is force their beliefs on others. You know, I am all for the rights of Mother Earth, but I don't want to force my beliefs on other people, my spiritual beliefs on other people. And so I'm not exactly sure what we need to do there. But, you know, forcing your beliefs on others is wrong. Freedom is the only thing that's right. Freedom is the only answer to any political movement. And, you know, Democrats and Republicans just want to take away other people's freedoms. I don't want people to poison each other. I don't want corporations to poison the earth. And we can all come together and come up with ways that will fix these things. But taking away individual freedoms from individual people ain't the answer. It ain't the truth. It's not the solution, okay? There are lots and lots of other libertarian values that Democrats and Republicans just hate all up and down this place. But you know what? Your life is yours. Your body is your own. My body, my choice. No pokes in the arm. And your body, your choice. Make your own choices. And we can debate about human rights after we fix the bigger problems, like the fact that both the left and the right keep on electing people that went to Epstein Island and violated kids. So let's start actually fixing the big problems before we sit here and quibble over the minutia. That's just my beliefs for right now, and I will probably make a part 2 when more Republicans and Democrats complain about my libertarian beliefs. See you soon.